Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the dungeon of Real World Magic Live. Introducing, for the first time in his dungeon, the one, the only, the magical, Neil Trigger! Hello! Yes, it's me! It's me, I'm back, and I'm in the dungeon for the first time ever, which is amazing. So, I think that deserves one of these. Oh, please. Oh, no, don't stop. No, don't stop. Oh, yeah, we should stop. Right, hello, and welcome back to Real World Magic Live. This is the first time I've actually done this live from the dungeon, which is really awesome. So I'm enjoying myself already, and I'm hoping you guys will. Today is going to be kind of like a magical potions class, which is why we're back in the dungeon. And I'm going to be making things change colour, which is really cool. So hopefully you can see this. It looks a little bit like a glass of ink, I guess. This is actually a dark blue kind of colour. You probably can't see it terribly well against the green screen especially, but we're going to see if we can make this change colour. And we've also got a bubbling brew. We've got a whole load of really cool stuff actually. It's all in this bag just here off camera, and we're going to get cracking with all of that. So I'd like to show you around my new setup, talking about what we're going to be doing today. And clearly we've got a dungeon here. I think it looks really awesome, and the intro and sound effects panel that I now have I think really adds something special to it. By the way, I've only got background music for one track like this. Let me know if it's a bit too loud. For me, it's fine. But, let me know if it's a bit too loud and I can always adjust it. I will be going over to the chat in just a moment. I've got it all set up on my iPad, so that's cool. So I'm sorry about the only having one track. I think I've actually got two tracks. Maybe I'll show you that in a second. But I can always get more for next time anyway. So, just let me know if you think it's too loud or too quiet, or whether you prefer a different one and all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to change one thing over here on my computer. I'm actually running out of desk space, and the reason for that is because I've got it clogged up with all the stuff for my cocktails. So we are going to be doing that. So what are we going to be doing today? Yes, some of you may have already seen, and probably have already seen, my last video about brewing magical cocktails and infusing vodka with magical ingredients. Has anyone seen that? Let's have a look over on the chat in just a second. Well, the vodka is all infused right now. In fact, it's here. This is my first little potion bottle, and it says, "Magic is just science that we do not yet understand." Which I totally agree with, actually, and that's kind of what real world magic is all about, literally all about. So whenever we look at doing anything on the channel, it's all about basing it on science. And this one is the Moscow Mule, which was not included in the pack, or the bottle wasn't included in the pack, and nor was the vodka actually. But for more information, have a look up there after this video, after this live thing, and I'll put a link up there to a previous video. So where are we? Okay, so that one is this one is the spicy and smoked Moscow Mule, which it does smell smoky actually. I don't quite understand how they worked it out, but it's like a tea and peppercorn. That's it, tea and pepper. I know, weird, but it does work honestly. And there's also this one, which is the Red Ruby Slippers, which is more of a sweet raspberry kind of flavour. So, then we have the worm juice that I made last week, but this week I'm going to be making it for kids, so no vodka to spill all over my computer. And finally we have a colour changing cocktail, which I figured I tried to feature in a previous video, but this one is actually boozy this time, so regardless of whether you've watched my cocktails before, you'll see something new. There is also a magic stirrer thing, which actually I think is on my mantelpiece, so I may need to stop the video and go and get that, but let's not do that just yet. And finally, we've got a magic news segment, which I can tell you all about the magical stuff in the news, and it looks a little bit like this. I'm enjoying myself far too much, aren't I? So this is the Magic News segment, and this is where I do all my news broadcasts from now on. So the film Practical Magic is actually due to get a sequel, more on that later, and also Daniel Radcliffe is going to be resuming his role as Harry Potter himself. Yes, he's getting his glasses back on, which, you know, because wizards can tear a part of their soul off, but they can't rectify an astigmatism. And he's going to reprise his role as Harry Potter Scarhead himself. It's true. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So that's the headlines, but there is going to be more flesh on the bones of this as we go on. And then we've got a brand new section on my channel called Ghost Stories, which looks a little bit like this. Ooh, this is spooky, isn't it? So we've got a number of ghost stories already to read live on the air, and it might get a little bit creepy. So if that's the sort of thing you like, that's awesome. Okay, so we're going to hop over onto the chat and see who's on and give a couple of shout outs. So we've got Chivalrous Tube. Awesome. Hello, dude. In fact, actually, if I go back to the dungeon here, let's do this. So we're going to go back to the dungeon, and I'm just going to load up, if I can. I'm still getting used to this thing, but let's do this. Yeah, see? That side, yeah. Thanks to my patrons, and Chivalrous Tube is actually one of them, so thanks a lot for that, and do check out his channel, he's amazing. Paulina's back. Hello, Paulina, how you doing? Laura's there. Hi, she's kind of obligated to. She's my wife, she's lovely. And we've got Scott there as well. Hi Scott, how you doing, dude? So we've got 5 people on at the moment, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for coming back. I'm just going to get rid of the patrons at the moment. Sorry, Chivalrous Tube. Now, first of all, I wanted to deal with the elephant in the room. Because I actually got bitten on my lip just before we went on air. It was about an hour and a half ago, I guess. Possibly 2 hours. It has gone down a bit now, but cool, blimey, I looked like the Elephant Man for a while, so hence the elephant. Yeah, I'm reactive, what can I say? Now, okay. Oh, Janet Gent's there, hello! Hi, how you doing? Now, we've actually got a cocktail with the stuff from you actually in it. So Janet Gent gave me a lovely bottle of wine, which I think is actually still in the kitchen. I'm not very organised today. So here's the first of my ghost stories. So let's go back to the ghost stories, and I'll also tell you a little bit in a second if I can load it up. Hopefully this is a bit more entertaining. Is this entertaining? Who bit you? No, it was actually an insect. It wasn't anyone in particular. Which is good. So, right, let's just go over here. I need to remember actually that I've got this transition deck on my right hand side, so I'm going to try and use that a bit more from now on. So this is realworldmagic.net, and this is where I'm going to be directing everybody. The reason being is that you can get in touch. I designed this little guy, isn't he cool? But here we actually have some ghost stories. So if you wanted to share your ghost story, go to realworldmagic.net, send your ghost story in, and this is what has already happened for the next story, which I'm going to read right now. Okay, so here's the first ghost story. Just to give you an idea of the kinds of things I wanted to talk about here in the ghost story section, and this is a ghost story that happened to me back in the late 1980s. Now, I don't know whether Janet Gent's going to remember this, but she's my mum. So I'm now 40, so this must have been around 32 years ago, possibly more. I was in Leighton Buzzard in the UK, staying at my uncle's house, which was supposedly haunted at the time. And my mum was looking after the house while my uncle went to work as a police officer. They were moving to the West Country, so the rest of my uncle's family were somewhere else, and I kind of forget where anyway. But so here's the scene. My mum and I were the only ones in this fairly big and old and empty house, or at least it seemed big to me at the time, but I was 8, so you know, it's late. We were sleeping in the same bed, and I woke up by I was woken up by my mum's voice calling, "Neil, come here." And that wasn't too weird, but it started getting weird really when I realised that my mum was next to me. So that's not necessarily too weird either, because I could have just fallen asleep, I suppose, but I rolled over and she was there lying next to me. Okay, I was a bit freaked out, but figured it might have all been a dream until I heard it again. "Neil, come here." Now I just thought that I must be having a nightmare, so what does a kid do? Well, remember, I was 8 years old, so I just shook my mum to wake her up, because, you know, it's the only fair thing to do really, isn't it? And she was obviously sleepy, but she did awake and asked me what the problem was. I explained that someone just called me, and I thought it was her because it sounded like her voice. And she was then explaining that it must have been a dream because the house was empty, no one was there, when I heard my own voice calling my mum, "Mummy, come here." And I'll never forget the look on my mum's face. We stayed awake for most of the night after that. It certainly felt like it, but then I was 8. So really weird, but now that house was creepy in my opinion. And it smelled quite bad. It smelled a bit like sewage at the same time every night. And the time coincided with the time that was reported as the time at which someone fell down a well that used to be in what is now the drawing room, I think. Anyway, my uncle had it exorcised, not only the drawing room but the whole house, and at the same time every night, that room that used to smell bad every evening, it would smell of roses instead. Yeah, odd. But that's my story. So what do you make of that? Let me know in the chat comments right now. Let's go back to the chat. Hi McCall. Well, am I a wizard? That's a very interesting question. I guess I'll leave that to everyone else. It was haunted. Your uncle had to have it exorcised. Yes, I know. I said that. Yeah. So that was my story. If anyone does have any other stories like that, please do go to realworldmagic.net, which is this one here, and submit your ghost story yourself. That'd be really awesome. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. In fact, I could even go here. 1 second. Let's do this. Oh, I love that. I'm probably going to use that a little bit too often, so I'm sorry. Right. Would you like to go to Hogwarts? Hell yes! That would be amazing! I kind of am in Hogwarts already, so unless you've recognised this already, this is actually Hogwarts right now. This is actually a photograph that I took at the Harry Potter Studio Tour in London. I'm going to put a link up there after the show so you can have a look at that. But yeah, so this is Hogwarts. This is actually the dungeon in which Harry Potter does all of his magical brewing. So cheers to that. Yeah, the reason for that, for anyone who's only just joined, the reason that we're in the dungeon right now doing the magical potions is because we're going to be making a cocktail. So let me just go back to my running list, just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Now, just remember while you're watching this Real World Magic Live, that if you would like to see, let's try all of that again. I've got a script. I shouldn't be reading, really. While you're watching Real World Magic Live, if you like what you see, you can always tip me over at paypal.me/realworldmagic. And let me see if this works. I don't know whether it will, but let's try that. No, I guess not. It says it has. It hasn't. So yeah, paypal.me. I'm just going to send it over. .me/. Oh yeah, I did. Cool, ideal. It did work. So yeah, so tip me over at PayPal if you like this stuff, or become one of these amazing people over at Patreon. So you've already seen these amazing people. They're awesome, fantastic. They help me out every month, and they allow me to do things like this special effect sort of stuff, because it's not cheap to set these sorts of things up. And these are my patrons, so if it's down to these people that allow me to do these sorts of shows, and I've got magic courses and free downloads and stuff like that for patrons. If you like me and you like to support me and my channel, just hop on over to Patreon, and you can do that whenever you like. I'll put that up on the chat right now as well. Hopefully that will work. I don't know. It says it did. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so on my website, which I've just shown you anyway, we've got things like the Ace of Clubs. That's almost in the frame. I might change... let's see if I can change that a little bit. It's almost in the frame. Let's shrink it. No, that's clearly not going to work. All right, never mind. There we go. Hey. editing live. So there's the Ace of Clubs, there's the King of Farts hoodie, and there's also the King of Farts t-shirt as well. He needs to come up a little bit, so yeah, there we go. Hurrah! So yeah, you can buy any of those sort of things on my website, and that will be over there. I've put that on the chat comments as well. Okay, hopefully that works. If you don't want to commit to once a month as a Patreon visitor, that's cool. You can always buy me a cider at paypal.me/realworldmagic. And I'll put that in the chat window again a bit later on maybe. Okay, cool. So that's enough with the shameless plugging. Hopefully we can get over that. You know, it's all good. I'm just going to hide all this stuff because you don't want to keep on seeing all this. You want to see some magic. And we're going to be doing that. So let's hide that. Okay, so cool. Who is in today? Mukul Sehawat. I hope I pronounced that. Please recommend me some book to become a wizard. Oh, okay. I actually did that on last week's show, I believe. Do a bit of magic and that sort of thing. The Silver Ravenwolf stuff, if you're not, if you're kind of new to witchcrafty, wizardy kind of stuff, then those books are probably the best ones that I would know how to recommend and get my hands on. There's a whole load of Gardner stuff, not Gardner as in, you know, digging up weeds, Gerald Gardner, and there's the Crystal Bible, Hedge Witch I think is another one. I actually got rid of a whole load of my books, or you know, someone else did. A long time ago, so I yeah, my library's a bit sparse at the moment, unfortunately. I do have lots of wands on it, on the bookshelves, but not so many books anymore, which is a bit of a shame, really. Right, let me see. Take me with you, pretty please. What, to Hogwarts? Yeah, that'd be awesome. How can I contact you? Well, you can contact me by commenting on my videos. That's probably the easiest way, or you can visit realworldmagic.net, which is here. So this is my website. So if you wanted to, you can become a member here. You can send me an email, all of that sort of stuff. And if you've got a ghost story, put it in there. Also, if you've got any kind of experiences with your wizardry, then put it in there anyway. So that'd be really cool. Okay, back to the dungeon. Hopefully that transition isn't getting too annoying yet. It might do, you never know. So, okay, so what I also wanted to do was to read a story. And I don't actually have a story time background specifically. No, personally. Well, you can get in contact with me via the website. That's the best way to contact me personally. So yeah, I wanted to also read stories and stuff like that, but you're here, I'm guessing, for cocktails. And if you have already seen my previous video, you're going to know that I've infused these cocktails, this one and this one, and we're going to start making that right now. So let's do it. Here goes the first one. Hooray! Oh god, I love these sound effects. It's brilliant. It comes in a little scroll like this with a ribbon around it. That one actually came off, but that was just me. So let's have a look. Now, it comes like this. So it's really cute. It comes from the Cauldron. They're not sponsoring this video, by the way. I just really love the Cauldron. It's basically, sorry, it's going to be like some ASMR crap. So yeah, the Cauldron are not sponsoring this video at all. It's only me, and I like it, so I bought some stuff. So we're going to have 20 ml of lemon juice. I do have one of those. In fact, I've actually got lime juice, which is green and looks like it's invisible. Look, that's how to make my face go invisible. Whoa! I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Okay, so we've got a whole load of really cool stuff over here. Let me just unpack. We've got some jalapenos. They are green as well, but they look kind of grey, which is good for the green screen, I suppose. Now, we've also got these little vials over here. So this is a bright blue. I guess it looks kind of black, but this is bright blue. This is lemon juice, and this is bright blue as well. And the reason that this one's bright blue is because I've got something in it called Clitoria Eternity, or blue butterfly pea flour. It's not flour as in baking bread. It's... Please hold. Your call is important to us. I don't actually have one of those sound effects. I've got one of those. Right, so this is what it looks like. It's blue butterfly pea flour, and it's a flour from a blue butterfly. Well, it's a blue flour from a butterfly pea. And the reason this is important is because it's effectively a pH indicator. So what you do, you infuse this with hot water, just like you would with a normal tea bag or a cup of tea or whatever. And it turns out this sort of colour. So really dark, really yummy. And then you put tons and tons of sugar in it, and it effectively becomes a sugar syrup, which is actually, it smells a bit like chocolate. Which is quite cool. But the more sugar you put in it, obviously, the sweeter it will become. And it's a sugar syrup that then you use in cocktails in a similar way to a simple syrup. So let's make one of these. So what we'll do first of all, get a nice big glass. I didn't really think this through with the green screen, did I? Butterfly pea on a flower. The butterflies don't pee on the flower. No, it's a flower that looks a bit like a butterfly, and it also is on a pea. So yeah, the flower is blue. It's called Clitoria Eternity, and if you look at the pictures, you'll see what the clitoria is all about. So, moving on. So we're going to need some red wine, which I don't actually have up here right now. So hopefully my little magic elf is going to deliver it to me. I shouldn't call her that. Laura, if you're watching, I'd like some red wine, please. Oh dear me, what am I doing? So yeah, so we need some red wine. We also need some lemon juice. But what we're going to do first of all, in fact, actually, while the red wine is being delivered, hopefully, we're also going to do my own cocktail. Now this is kind of jazzing a bit, so what we're going to need is some, also invisible, I presume. Yeah. Whoa, look at that. My face is gone. This is Sprite. So it's basically transparent, but it's got a green label, which is why it's acting weird. This is sugar-free. No, it isn't. Oh, I am breaking my diet for you guys. Cool, the sacrifices I'm making. So what we're going to do... Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. Is it here?
Yeah, you're at the side.
Oh, there we are. Thank you. As if by magic. Thank you, babe. Thank you, babe. Right. So while that one's being delivered, there it is. Okay. Well, we can't actually do this. Let's do the right one that I'd planned to do first. Okay. So what we need to do. Obviously, we've done all the infusion. Please tell me how to become a real wizard. Yeah, there's loads of videos on my channel. This is not what this video is going to be about just yet. I might do a bit more on being a real wizard a bit later on, but please stop asking. So we've got 20 ml of lemon juice, 10 ml of red wine, and 25 millilitres of sugar syrup. Now, the sugar syrup that we've got is actually blue at the moment. And the reason that that is important is because it's going to change colour. So I actually will do a different cocktail first. So we pour the first one in like this. Okay, I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to try not to spill anything. I did spill something last week. Now, we'll take the lemon juice and add this. And what we can do, if we take the blue, put it up against my red t-shirt, that might be better. We'll take the blue, we'll take the yellow, and if we mix blue and yellow, hopefully anyone who's been through school should know that this will make green. And yet, when I pour this in, It makes kind of a weird red. So that's kind of neat. So this is literally just a colour changing cocktail. Now you can do this in lots of different ways. You can stir it by magic, all of that sort of stuff. In fact, the stirring by magic stuff is also down in the living room. That's the other thing that I totally forgot. So we're going to be making a worm juice cocktail, and this one does not have any booze in it because last week I did make a boozy one. This one is for kids, and it's a worm juice cocktail. It's really cool. Once you've done the colour change stuff, you can also put in some lemon juice, which will just add a bit more. Sorry, I thought I was going to add a bit more lemon juice, which will then make it a bit more acidic. And then we put in some worms. Oh no, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. One moment, please. Right, so we've got this one, and we're going to put in some worms right now, actually. So hopefully this will tear. Yeah! Now I've actually got red worms this time, so this is awesome. Just the thought of lemons makes you cringe. Really? Oh, lemons are nice. Yeah, you need it for the tartness actually, but afterwards you kind of can't really taste it very well. So we'll take the handful of worms and we'll just dunk them into the bottom like that. Now if I drink this nice and early on, hopefully it'll be alright. Now before we do this, we have to make some dry ice. So, oh, you like the graphics, thank you. Right, where is my fire extinguisher? Here it is. Just like last week, we're going to have a fire extinguisher making some dry ice. I'm going to, hopefully this isn't going to top out the microphone. It might do. Obviously, all the usual safety regulations to go with this. Don't do this. It's not a good idea. But this is how to make dry ice at home. You take a food grade. It has to be food grade because otherwise you might get oil in it from the mechanics of compressing. A food grade CO2 fire extinguisher. Cover over the top, keep your hand well out of the way because this gets down to minus 73 degrees centigrade. Give it a blast. And then, oh, get rid of it. Now all of this gathered in the front here, you need to compress. So take the other side of the tea towel, crush it up a bit like that. Whoa. And I think this canister might be running out a bit, so I might need to order another one, but hey ho. Okay. Dunk all of that into the bottom of the glass. Now because this is dry ice, it sublimates, so it goes straight to gas without going through liquid. So it's fine to just leave that, especially in this heat. Right, then we've got the dry ice at the bottom just there. Take the handful of worms, chuck them on top. Now this is important because then it stops the dry ice from raising to the top. We'll take this little bad boy. This is dried troll bogies. It's not really. No, this is egg white powder. And just add some to your previous mix. Like that. Now this is normally where I would stir it with magic. Unfortunately that's down in the lounge at the moment. So maybe I'll show you that if my assistant brings it up. It's on the mantelpiece. I'm sorry, I've had so much to do today, it's been a bit crazy. Give it a little bit of a stir. Now because this is carbonated, might be a bit of a problem, but hopefully that's not going to froth up too much. Of course it is! What a plonker. So yeah, this normally you'd mix it with gin first, but I'm trying to do a non-alcoholic version. I invented this cocktail in case anyone's interested. You're not going to find this in the recipe books anywhere. But it is quite a magical thing. The reason that this is frothing up a lot is because it's got the egg white powder in it. Which side is this coming? Oh, thank you very much. Wonderful, thank you.
Watch out for what's underneath.
Oh yeah, thanks. Fan-dabby-dozy. Right. We need to do this before the dry ice melts, or sublimates, I should say. Okay, I'll show you the stirring by magic in just a moment. So we take the frothy gunk Technical term. And we pour it into here, which hopefully, because of the egg white powder, what it does is it bubbles up, and when it reaches the top, the bubbles themselves actually burst, which is really cool. And then we can top it up with Cherryade, not lemonade, Cherryade. I don't know whether you can hear this, but it is actually bubbling. Ooh. I probably added too much egg white powder, if I'm completely honest, but you can see that when they burst, they let out a little puff of smoke. Hopefully if I put it up against my t-shirt, you see that? So I think that that's actually better than what we did last week. So I've added a bit of egg white powder, not very much, really not very much at all, just a pinch will be fine. If you can stir it first, that's probably better as well. So I'm going to let that sort of fart away for a bit, and then hopefully you can see, don't know whether you can see, can you see those bubbles rising through? Hopefully you can. I can see them on my monitor, so yeah, should be alright. So when it reaches the top, they just bubble over and burst. I think that's pretty cool. Put it to the mic. I don't know, can you hear that? So that is the worm juice. That's the non-alcoholic version of the worm juice cocktail, which I think is really awesome. And it was inspired actually by the Cauldron pub. Now, this is a little bit of magic wizardry that I discovered, and I actually put on my channel a long time ago. So this is how you stir a drink using a magic wand and a magic bean. And all you do, you just put it in there like that, and you tap it with the magic wand. So stir yourself. There we go. Now, you might think there's a propeller, but there isn't. So what we need to do, to show you actually how this works properly, I'm going to have something that doesn't fizz up. So this is actually, hopefully, apple juice. I'm really nailing this green right now, aren't I? Look at this. Oh dear, funny. Right, so it was from the co-op. So we're going to pour it in just like this. Not very much, actually. Not very much this time at all. So all we do, just pour it in there. Knowing me, I'm just going to put the lid back on because, honestly, what happened last week was embarrassing. Okay, we'll put it on our little magic stirring table. And then if I give it the magic stirring spell, stir yourself, then we should be able to see, hopefully you can see, there's a little vortex appear inside it, which I think is really cool. So I invented this, but I kind of used an idea from the Cauldron that I saw in the Cauldron pub when we went up there to London. So yeah, you can put the lid on, doesn't make any difference. Okay, let's try this. Stir yourself. See, isn't that cool? Well, I think it's cool. I was going to make this into something even cooler. Oh my god! Yeah, I know, it's good, isn't it? So yeah, I was going to actually make that into something even better than that. Maybe I will. I don't know. Is that the sort of thing that you guys would like to see? Just sort of making that. Because it's one of my older videos. If you want to see it after this live stream, I'm going to put a link up there. I can't put my finger high enough, but it's up there. Right, so that's cool. Let me just try out this worm juice then. Let's see how that goes. I mean, I know it doesn't look great. But it tastes nice. Now the cool thing is, and hopefully you guys can see this, but as it's... Oh, there's glare from the monitor. But as it is expanding the worms inside, they're starting to go a bit icky and a bit swollen. And tasting it. Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, I've got to, haven't I? It's perks of the job, Chivalrous Tube. Aren't you glad that your patron money is being well spent? Right. So we have the Merlot. We actually have the red wine. Thank you to Laura for getting that, by the way. I know I said it in person, but thank you publicly. It was wonderful. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to get those red ruby slippers out again, which is just over here. So we need a new glass. I have plenty of them. Where are they? Here. Oh yes, there's also one on the floor. Remind me. Is that a colour grading palette? I don't know what that is. No, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. A colour grading palette, not sure. It's just a filter. I guess. Are you talking about the green screen? I'm not sure. But hi, Jelly Duck, and hi, Akib Hussain. Sorry, I didn't see you there either. So, yeah, we've got 8 people in now. Hi, 8 people. Awesome. I'll tell you what, it's really hot in here. But the problem was that I did have the window open as I was doing all the rehearsals and just making sure that everything was working and I could do things like this. But yeah, so let's go back. So while I was doing all the rehearsals and stuff like that, it sounded like someone was being murdered just across the road from me. And I thought, you know what, that's probably not the best thing to put on a live stream, someone actually being actively killed. So I thought, yeah, not a great plan. The other thing was as well, about 45 minutes before I went live, I went to the shop to buy a lighter to make everything burn and flash and flame and sparkle and all of that cool stuff. It doesn't work. Turns out tequila doesn't burn and brandy you have to get hot first. So I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I know how they got around it at the Cauldron, and I think it'll probably cost me a couple of quid to do that. So I might just do that. It's basically using a... it's not really a teapot. It's like a little milk jug. Like a tin milk jug. Michael Van Doozy! Hello, mate! How you doing? Welcome back. The one that I'm holding. Okay. I don't think I'm holding one. Am I holding something? No, I'm holding here. This is the instructions to the Red Ruby slippers, and I am going to get onto it right now, actually. So, let's do this. Where is the lime juice? Now, you can use lemon juice for this, but in fact, the instruction says lemon, but lime also works, so that's fine. Now, you don't need very much, only about that much, almost like a cordial amount. Or a squash. Americans don't really know what squash is. This was a massive revelation to me fairly recently. So if you're American and you're on there and you don't know what squash is, please let me know that you don't know what squash is. Because I thought that this was a joke. I thought someone was winding me up that they don't know what squash is. Squash, to anyone who is watching, is basically like a kind of juice drink, but you dilute it with water. But it isn't juice. I don't know. Yeah, it's also a pumpkin. I mean, a pumpkin is a squash. So yeah. Right, moving on. So we've got the lemon juice and we've got red wine. Now about half as much red wine. So thanks to Janet Gent for donating the red wine. Thank you very much. I'm hoping this is going to be really nice. Let's see. So, oh. Kidding. That's really nice, actually. Does smell really good. So, a tiny bit of red wine. I should definitely have had some tissue. Everything's spilling everywhere. Okay. So it looks a little bit winey so far, but certainly not anywhere that, you know, it's not excessive. So, bit of lemon juice, bit of red wine, sugar syrup. 25 ml. So we do have one of those, don't we? Yes. this one. Now this is a colour changing one, but don't worry, like you saw in the previous one, it does change colour. So we don't have to worry about it because there's already the acid in here that will turn it the same colour when we do that. See? Exactly the same colour. I mean, temporarily it goes blue, but then when it connects and it mixes up a bit, which we can do just by stirring it, then exactly the same colour. Tasting good so far, actually, I have to admit. Okay, and equal parts. Okay, so a cocktail shaker. So we've got a cocktail shaker. In fact, I'm not gonna shake it because I've got my computer here. There's a monitor there, a webcam there, a microphone there. Oh no, I'm not going to shake it. There's also a Stream Deck, a mixing desk, and an iPad Pro. I am not going to shake it. I don't trust myself. 50 ml of infused vodka. Now I don't know how much 50 ml is, but I'm guessing it's a lot. Is it a lot? Go on, is it a lot? Let's get sloshed. Woo! Right, I'm thinking it's probably that much. It's probably not. Let's just watch Neil from Real World Magic get absolutely blotto live. And then start getting all rowdy and insulting people. No, maybe not. No. Because that would just be a bit... Do you like my sound effects? I've spent ages searching these out. Right. Shake it. Shake it. I'm shaking it. I know that's not what you meant, but okay. So that's what it looks like so far. Looking good. Looking good. Right. To your cocktail glass. Well, I don't really have one, so I'm just going to use this one. Now, I know that you should really have a cocktail glass. Again, they're downstairs, and I'm not that organised. I think I've done well so far, actually. So this one, add 1/4 teaspoon of silver powder. Now they provide you with this when you've got the what do you call it? The Wizard Survival Kit that you get from the Cauldron. So I don't know whether you can see that, but it is kind of glittery. It's a bit sparkly. So we're going to have 1/4 teaspoon of that to the cocktail glass, which would ordinarily be a lot flatter than this, but hey ho. So I think that's about 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm really hoping it's edible glitter. Doesn't taste like anything. Doesn't taste like death though, so that's always nice. What does death taste like? There's one for the comments. I don't know. What does death taste like? Probably tastes like gorgonzola or something. I don't know. Probably tastes like baked beans. I hate baked beans. No judgment, but I hate baked beans. Right, where is... There we go. So, we've added that to the cocktail glass. Add ice to your cocktail shaker. No, everything's chilled anyway. Strain into a cocktail glass over the glitter powder and garnish with a cocktail stick and 3 raspberries. Well, I dropped the cocktail sticks on the floor and the 3 raspberries are probably frozen, so no. But I do get where they're going with this. Oh my god, actually that looks really pretty. That looks really nice. I like that. Oh, where'd you get edible glitter from? I want some more. This is really cool. And I think I'm going to try it. That's really, really nice. Now this one, if you haven't already watched my video, first of all, why not? But if you haven't watched my video yet about how to infuse these magical cocktails, this one is infused with half a vanilla pod and the seeds from the vanilla pod, and I think about 2.5 grams, something like that, of raspberry powder, and then it's infused for 2 to 3 days and then strained. So you can taste the vanilla, you can taste the raspberry, you can definitely taste the vodka. It has a certain red winey quality to it, but with only 10 ml, you're not going to have a huge amount. But it does add something to it, and obviously the lime juice. I reckon if you added lemon juice to that, it would probably taste a little bit different, but not by much. So that's really nice. I like that. I like that a lot. So, shall we move on? Hello and welcome to the channel. Yeah, welcome to the channel, everyone who's on at the moment. Someone's disappeared. I don't know who it is. We have had a couple of apologies already, actually. So, oh well. Let's have a quick gander. Now, I've also had, because I've already done a shout out to my mum. I haven't done a shout out to Lindsay Kirby, who I don't know whether she's on or not. I think she may be busy. She's got her own show as well. So, I don't know whether she's on or not. I do know at least 2 people are already online with their own things. Now, if Lindsay is as well, fair enough. So she's my mother-in-law, and she's wonderful. She's given this to Laura, my wife, who's been delivering things either side of the green screen because she doesn't want to be on camera. I think her voice was on a minute ago. And yeah, she gave this to Laura, and Laura's decided... Oh, she was on earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Lindsay. Anyway, so Laura's decided that I can use this one, I think mainly because she wants some. I'm going to be inventing my own cocktail in a moment, but not just yet. Okay, what have we got here? We are doing the Moscow Mule, which is this one. Now, again, it comes like this. This is actually how it's supposed to come, until Butterfingers, me, gets along with it. So we're just going to unravel it like this. Can you feel the magic? Loving it. Okay. Honestly, it's really warm in here. The smoky and spiced Moscow Mule. Now that looks like this. So it kind of looks like a tea at the moment, but if you drank that tea, if you drank a mug of that tea, you would be absolutely hammered. So, or I would anyway. So most of that is the infusion instructions just there until we get to making of the cocktail. Now there are some things that I haven't been able to get because we're in lockdown at the moment, and I'm just not able to. So we need Angostura bitters. Wasn't able to get that. The co-op doesn't know even what they are, so nor do I. I mean, he said, "What is it?" And I was like, no. So yeah, I wasn't really sure, but we're going to try it anyway and see how it goes. So we're going to have this little glass here. I've got loads of glasses. Honestly, the washing up after this video is going to be bonkers. While I am here, though, I'm just going to have a quick drink of my non-alcoholic tankard of mead. It's not mead. It's Cherryade. It doesn't have any sugar in it, so I'm allowed it on my diet. Okay, so 50 ml of infused vodka to a tall chilled glass. Well, that's a tall glass. It's kind of chilled. I mean, it's been there chilling for ages. It's like, yo, I'm chill. I don't think that's what they mean. So let's try that. If anyone does have any ghost stories, by the way, please do share on realworldmagic.net. Whoa, that's far too much vodka. Yeah, so let's have a look over on there. I've just put a chat comment, I hope. Yeah, check out my website, realworldmagic.net. And there we go. Right, so I've put a little bit of vodka in. A lot of vodka in. There's an awful lot of vodka. So there it is. That's the vodka. So we're going to add it to a tall chilled glass. I don't think that's 50 ml. That's probably a bit more. Oh well. 15 ml of fresh lime juice and a dash of bitters. Well, I don't have any bitters, so I'm going to have to just put a little bit more lime juice in. Oh, and there we go. My bottle of invisibility is now empty. So that's cool. Okay, a good quality ice. What does good quality ice mean? How is ice bad quality? I mean, I suppose if you froze the toilet, then maybe that would be bad quality. I don't know. I'm going too much. Right, pour over fresh fizzy ginger beer. Okay, And again, all of this stuff is chilled anyway. I'd be perfectly happy to add ice. I just don't see any point. And also, I don't have any. So that's that. Pour over some ginger beer. Now this is ginger ale because I don't particularly like ginger beer. It's alright, but I prefer ginger ale. Okay. Oh man, is the website not clickable? That's rubbish. It should be. Okay, well, I mean, you can add it if you want. Right, and then garnish it with a light sprinkling of ground black pepper. I do have some. Somewhere. Here we go. A sprinkling of ground black pepper. Now this is going to be a little bit weird, I think. But I'm willing to try it. Ooh. Wow, that really does smell very smoky. And I know I can't really convey that over the internet, but this is... Wow. Okay. I think I've just found my new favourite drink. This is amazing. It almost tastes like your... I don't know, what's the best way of putting this? It's almost like there's a hint of bonfire about it. And but that's not a bad thing. Actually, it's weird. It is strange, but it's really nice. I did actually have somewhere, I think I may have left it downstairs, some, yeah, I've got some jalapenos here. So I was considering doing a similar thing to what they did on the Spaniard's Revenge at the Cauldron Pub, where they got some jalapenos and muddled them. They obviously washed off the vinegar for quite a long time, and I've got some downstairs, so I might try that after this. They took the jalapenos and they muddled them, which is to use one of these things. It's basically like a squasher, and you just mash it, and you mash it together with either Sambuca or Ouzo or tequila, and then once it's all ground up together, you take a spoon and you spoon that into the drink. And that adds not only heat, but also a bit of smoky flavour. And it is really nice. So that's cool. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that, actually. That's really nice. In fact, I'm very happy with everything from the Cauldron. Really, genuinely happy with everything from the Cauldron. And again, they're not sponsoring this video. I really wish they were. So if they do watch this video, please consider sponsoring it, because I get loads of people watching this sort of stuff. Oh, it's a masher. Yes. A bonfire. Yeah, no, I know. Well, hey, Laura, if you want some of this, come on up. You don't have to be on camera. There is another seat there. So just go around the green screen. That's cool. Okay, so since this is lockdown, who else has just popped on? Because we had 5 a minute ago, and now we've got 6. Who is this? Hello. Hi. I don't know who you are, but it's really nice of you. So... let me just see if we can... Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you... Oh, seriously, it's getting so hot in here. The other thing I wanted to show you is this. This is my Halloween makers kind of place. What I eventually want is another camera that can then be pointed down into my lap. Giggity. Yeah, so the camera would be pointed down so that you can actually see what I'm making. And I'd like to be able to switch cameras at some point so that I can do modelling tutorials and things like that. But I can't afford it this month, frankly, because I bought too much. Okay, so where are we now? Oh yeah, so have we got anything... Do you know something about Hogwarts? I think I know a lot of things about Hogwarts, yeah. What would you like to know? There's lots and lots of stuff. You might have to, I'm not sure. Now you got 7. Oh yeah, good point. Well, what about a Christmas scene? Oh, I do have one of those somewhere. I think it might be on my phone though. You want to know everything? A Christmas scene would be really cool, but I think it might be covered under copyright. I definitely do want to go back to the Harry Potter studio tour, and I do have some more photographs from when I went. So I might be able to grab some from a previous video. I think I've already mentioned that I'm going to link the Harry Potter studio tour up there. Sorry, don't mind me, I'm just going to get drunk. Live on camera, yeah, man. So, yeah, I think I would like to add some more backgrounds to this sort of stuff, and I definitely also want to read a story. So this is kind of my creative space. This is where I'm going to be doing all of my crafting and all of that sort of stuff. Let me know what you think. I might just add, just up there, another camera that can then show all of the other stuff. So that would be cool. You want to go once this whole virus goes away? Yeah, maybe we can meet up. That'd be awesome. I definitely want to go back. I'm not terribly keen on their butterbeer though. I was very, very keen on their butterbeer ice cream, which was fantastic. But their butterbeer itself, not great. I prefer the one that I made in my butterbeer video. And if you haven't already seen that, again, I can't do it right now, but I'll leave a link up there once it's all uploaded fully and not live. Because this is live and I'm reacting. Do you have a personal wand? Dude, I have loads. If you haven't seen last week's Real World Magic Live, I unboxed 2. I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm sure I've got another one. 11. Yeah. And I've also got a wand stand as well, which I'm going to be showing how to make in another video. Not right now. But yeah, so I've got quite a few, and we can talk about that in another video. I do really want to make another one. Oh yeah, is that 12? So I've got another one downstairs actually, so that'll be 13. Oh, unlucky for some. So yeah, that's really cool. So let me just. In fact, actually, I don't think I've done this yet. So let me just do this. Won't be a second. So this is over on my Patreon page where people can become members for £3, £5 or £10 per month, and there are special benefits to each of that sort of stuff. And there's also a Patreon introduction video which teaches you all about what I'm planning on doing and why. So yeah, I'm not going to plug this too much, but if you do like what you see right now, go on over to Patreon. Okay, so now we're back in the creative space. I'm going to be showing you what I've written, or telling you what I've written, I guess. This one is actually... Alright, I'm going to give you 2 options now, and the first one to respond is the one that I'm going to go with. So I could either read you the new Christmas story, which is going to come out for Christmas. I'm going to be able to record it, and I'm going to put it out on Audible, and I could give it to you guys for free. Or I could do one of the newer magic related, well, in fact, they're all magic related really, but I could do the newer magic related one all about the green imp that lives in the forest, which is also going to be in a compendium, and that's going to be released on Audible too. Either way, you get free content. So what do you want to see? Ooh, questions. Dude, if you want to see how to use a wand like the Harry Potter movies, you can't have seen my previous video about how to use a wand like Harry Potter. So yeah, my magic wand review. I'll see if I can put a link up there, but I think I'm running out of links to put up there. So if it's not up there, I apologise. You might just have to search my channel. And I can't do it live either, so you're going to have to search my channel anyway. But there is stuff on there. You've seen the first one. Oh, like my own wand. Yeah. So you vote for the second one. What, the green imp that lives in the forest? Or, I don't know what. Are Scott and Paulina still here? Are you still there, dudes? Dudes? Yeah. Rock on, man. I think I'm going to have the worm juice. Now, you may be able to see a lot clearer now that these worms, they started out as strawberry laces. And just for comparison, here's one. And they've definitely increased in size. I mean, that is actually in front of those worms. But because they have been sat here in effectively an acid, because that's what lemon juice is, they expand. They take in that substance and they expand and they become gooey. And this is why, when you drink it down, once you got to the bottom, it's like drinking worms. I like it. I really do like it. And I'm not just saying that. So, yeah. You've had a few beers. Me too, dude. I mean, it's not beer, but, you know, I'm getting steadily... So, yeah. I like it. So... And Bloody Mary as well, obviously. They look real now. To be honest with you, Chivalrous Tube, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about at all. Is there some working spell? Yes, there's loads, and I've also done a video on that. You're asking lots of questions that are already answered on my channel. So if you haven't already, head on over to YouTube, which is this one. And you'll see, where is it? Where's my mouse gone? There we go. So yeah, there's a whole load of stuff here. So let me just see if I can do this. (1,118 subscribers. Wow, go me. Right, so down here at the bottom we have... Ooh, quite a long time ago now, admittedly. Because I've done over 100 videos now. Get me. So yeah, if you want to know all about how to become a real wizard, this one here, it's pretty popular. In fact, it's very popular. This one has had, where are we? 37,147 views. So yeah, it's had a lot. So check it out. That's how to have real magical powers, and it's all based on science, so it's not rubbish. This is actually true. Now, just so you know, I've just rubbed my hand after touching those jalapenos, and my eye is really stinging right now. So if I start crying... No, wrong one. Or going... That'll be why. So, right. I'm talking about the worms. Oh yeah, they do look real, don't they? They do look cool. This is why I called this the worm juice. Now, the worm juice, bit of a history. We went all the way down to Exeter, which is from here. It's about an hour's drive. So I guess for most people in most countries, that's not a lot. But in the UK, an hour's drive each way is probably quite a lot. It's probably more like an hour 20, something like that. To a Wizard pub. Now, because we were driving, or I was driving, and my wife isn't much of a big drinker, so we both decided to have the non-alcoholic version. We had the worm juice. The worm juice did not look like this. I think my version is a lot cooler, but then I suppose I would. So obviously my version bubbles and smokes and stuff like that, but also it's got worms in it. And yeah, I think my version is a lot better, especially because the worms that I put in there look like worms. They feel like worms when you're eating them at the end as well. So I'm going to keep on drinking this. So please don't think I'm rude. I just want to get to the bottom so that you guys can see what they actually look like. Burn, baby, burn. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Excellent cocktails. Yeah, thank you. Is there Wizarding School real? I don't know which Wizarding School you're talking about. Cheers, Paulina. and thanks very much for being such a good sport. It was actually, I double checked and I watched that video again. It was me. It was definitely me that did the cock up on that magic trick. I'm not going to show any more magic tricks today, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to maybe next time, maybe in a couple of weeks. The other thing is actually a bit of a change. So 1 second. Yes, so bit of a magic news. So first of all, I want to kind of cover what we're doing here. So Harry Potter is returning as Daniel Radcliffe. I'll tell you what, actually no. Let's take off the whole magic news bit for now. No, that's wrong. 1 second. I'm still working this stuff out actually. So if we go over here and we take off that, there we go. So, oh, that's weird noise. So what I wanted to do is to tell you a bit of my magic news. My magic news is that next week I'm not going to be able to do this on the Saturday like I normally would. I'm going to move it over to Sunday because I'm actually getting having friends over in a socially distanced way, totally responsible. We've got a side gate, we can access it from the side. They don't have to be anywhere near us, so we can be 2 meters apart as per the government regulations, because I'm really, really good like that. So we're going to be making sure that we are totally socially distanced, and we're going to be having some cocktails like this. And yeah, so I'm just going to hold it like that. And all right, yeah, maybe we should just do this instead. It's a lot softer. So I'm going to have the cocktails that I make myself. I'm going to wipe it down with antiseptic and then throw it at them. So maybe we're not going to go quite that far, but we are going to make sure that it's totally safe, totally socially distanced, and everyone's fine. So I don't want to take the coronavirus lightly for anyone who's watching. So next Saturday at 6 p.m, nothing's going to happen, but it will happen on Sunday at 6 p.m. So that'll be nice. Is Hogwarts real? Of course not. No, it is not. But wizardry and magic, yes, that is, in a certain way. But I also explained that in that video that I've just mentioned, which is over here. So yeah, have a look at one that looks like this. So yeah, that's the link you want to have a look at. But the School of Real World Magic is real, absolutely, yeah. So this is my website. Let's see if I can bring it up. Oh, I can't. Yes, I can. Can I? No? Yes? No, probably not. I'm going to see if I can do this in real time. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, so if I do that, hopefully it'll be clickable. Alrighty. Okay, so moving over to realworldmagic.net. Yeah, so this is all real, and if you wanted to join this, then you can. How do you do that? Membership plans. There we go. Up at the top. So click on this button and it will take you over to here where you get bronze, silver and gold. And if you go back to Patreon, you've got bronze, silver and gold. And hey, it's almost like I planned this. They're exactly the same price. What a shock. And yeah, the best value one is actually the most expensive one, or the least cheap one. So yeah. Do I like Indian? What, Indian what? Indian people? Yeah, I love them. I mean, I wouldn't say that I've got anything against... I wouldn't say I've got anything against any kind of people. If you're talking about food, yes, I like Indian food. I like Indian culture. I've got several friends who are Indian. I'm not sure what the question means. But yeah, I'm not prejudiced. Okay. So I've now got down to the wormy bottom, Ugh. I'm going to use a spoon because it's a lot more dignified. Oh, so it kind of looks a bit like brains, I guess. It's properly gooey now. And bear in mind that they used to look like this. And they're dropping all over my computer. Oh no! So yeah, oh, 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh dear me. Right. You probably saw my bowl patch. Do I have a bowl patch? I don't know. Am I thinning a bit? Hopefully not. Can I drink more now? You are totally within your rights to drink as much as you like, Scott. That'd be wicked. Okay. So that's pretty much it for me. From me. With regard to the cocktails, but I do want to read one of my stories. So let me know which one you want me to read. Do you want me to read number 1 or number 2? The Christmassy one, or the green imp that lives in the forest one? From me, for me from now. Yeah, I know. Hey, here's a dinner bell. So now I can eat my worms. They're super gooey now. You don't want to see that. Oh, you're off, Paulina. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Do the worms have any taste? Yes, they do, actually. They taste a bit weird because they don't quite taste like normal worms. So yeah. Right. So now we're in here. I'm actually going to choose one. They don't taste like worms. Yeah, I'll see you on Sunday, Paulina. Do you remember that it's Sunday, not Saturday? Just because I'm having a socially distanced barbecue, which would be cool. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read The Green Imp. If I can find it. Yeah, so I've actually got my phone up. So, shall I put some background music? Let's just do this. Maybe this one. Now the green imp that lives in the forest. An imp is a fairy-like creature. It likes to play pranks and make jokes. But the green imp that lives in the forest likes to drink to excess as he smokes. The green imp that lives in the forest got drunk and forgot his own name. He forgot who he was. He forgot where he lived. He forgot his own wife. What a shame. Now the green imp that lived in the forest on the day all this starts in mid-May had run low on tobacco and cider, and so went to the shops for the day. The imp caught a bus to the centre. He conjured the bus, then got on, but nobody else would sit near him because of the terrible pong. He smells of tobacco, said Beryl. He stinks of old cider, said Flo. I think he looks terribly lonely. Do you think he's a friendly imp? No. Oh, no. When the green imp that lived in the forest arrived at the shops in the town, he screamed at a girl at the counter. She yelled and then tripped and fell down. Now Beryl, who liked the young lady, was now at the very same shop, so she charged at the imp with her trolley, which made him immediately stop. "What on earth do you think you are doing?" old Beryl now said to the imp. You can't run around acting stupid. You're like an uncivilized chimp. The imp was a magical being. The imp didn't like being beaten. He threw magical lightning at Beryl to cook her before being eaten. But one thing the imp hadn't noticed was that Beryl's right hand gave a twitch. The lightning then flickered and halted. It turned out old Beryl's a witch. The green imp just stood there in silence. He wasn't quite sure what to do. He stared open-mouthed straight at Beryl, hoping she'd give him a clue. As seconds ticked by, all the shoppers, transfixed by the things that they'd seen, now cowered away from the magic and hid near a vending machine. "I see," Beryl said, "you have issues, aside from your horrible breath. But all of this drinking and smoking will lead to a premature death." The imp's face now looked overtaken. He sagged and he dropped to his knees. The witch very slowly approached him. Then gently she gave him a squeeze. The imp started weeping and bawling, a feeling the imp never knew, for Beryl had reached out and helped him. So someone at last had got through. The witch checked him into a clinic. The witch helped the imp to get clean. The shoppers learned valuable lessons while stood at the vending machine. When people are nasty or bullies, they often are hurting inside. They lash out because of their problems. They don't ask for help due to pride. So what of the imp of the forest? Well, he had a most wonderful life. He got back his name and the purpose, and he found where he lived and his wife. The end. So that one is going to go in a compendium of magical stories that I'm writing at the moment, so I hope you liked it. The rain is a great addition to the story. I'd love to add it, but it's only licensed for YouTube, so yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to sell it with that sort of stuff on. But yeah, I quite like it. I think it's cool. So yeah, I think it deserves one of these. I'm going to wait till it finishes. I'm not going to stop it. So. Oh, wrong one. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Something weird happened. Oh well. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I live in the UK, so I would imagine that I probably would be able to record rain quite easily. Except that, and this is some weird magic for anyone who's still watching. This is some weird stuff. Pardon me. Since doing the guttering on a log cabin that I've had in the garden. And this was weeks and weeks and weeks ago now. What, 3-4 weeks? I mean, Laura will know better than me. But since doing that, it's not rained once. I don't know why. It's kind of spooky almost. Right, so I'm just going to start finishing off. That's bad grammar. I'm going to finish off the red ruby slippers, which is still glittery, still gorgeous. Hopefully you can see the sort of marbling effect in there. And it tastes really good. So thanks very much to everybody. Yeah, whoa, I know. All I had to do was be in lockdown so that I can't go anywhere and put up some guttering that I really want to test out in the rain in order for the whole of the UK to have an absolute gorgeous heatwave summer in April and May. And this is what, 3 weeks ago? I think maybe even 4. I did this ages ago. So I don't quite understand what's going on, because it normally rains every day. So yeah, no rain. Okay, well thank you ever so much for watching, everyone. And I don't think I've done any sort of magical waves like this. I'm not really sure either quite how to end this. So what I will do, I think, is do this. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Every single like, every subscribe. If you haven't already liked this video, please do that right now. Subscribe for more information if you haven't already subscribed, and if you do subscribe, make sure to click that bell so that when I do go live, you will see it. You'll be notified and you won't miss anything. You can then join in with the chat. You can get a shout out. It'll be lovely. So thanks very much for Paulina. Thank you for Scott. Thank you to Chivalrous Tube, to Laura Trigger, especially for being a wonderful wife and wonderful assistant and really helping me with all this sort of stuff. Thank you to Lindsay. Thank you to Janet Gent. Thank you to Akib for coming on. And who was the other chap? And I completely forgot his name. McCall. Thank you very much for you. If you're still around, please do shout out and say hi. And I myself am going now. So thanks very much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye bye. Oh no! I wanted that to be really slick. Let's try this. Bye bye. Oh, yeah, one other thing. I am going to be back on Sunday rather than Saturday next week. So it'll be Sunday, whenever that is, at 6 p.m. So let's just have a quick look when that is. Sunday the 7th. Wow, Sunday the 7th of June at 6 p.m. Thank you ever so much. I'll see you then.